This is part 1 of 8 in Absolute Ministries training for mentors. The first part of our acronym for the word absolute is A, which represents always point to Christ. In the midst of a member's challenges, always point to Christ, right? How many of us are dealing with something difficult? Everybody, all the time, right? And it's no different for your mentee at Absolute Ministries. Not only in their physical life and learning a new way to live and structure their life in going to work, being on time places, right? Respecting other individuals, healthy relationships. In the midst of all of it, the goal is always point to Christ. And guess what? It's the same for you and it's the same for me. The people that are helping us, that we are being refined by, that are discipling us, that are being our friends, are hopefully always pointing us to Christ. This is the beautiful piece of the Absolute Ministries model, that it is real life. There is nothing going on here that shouldn't be going on in an individual's life who wants to follow Christ. So as you are walking with your mentee, the point number 1 on the Absolute Ministries acronym is always point to Christ. In the midst of celebrations, maybe they got a raise at work. Ultimately, we're talking about the renewing of the mind. Romans 12:2 talks about this, right? It is about mindset. That's what matters. Paul is encouraging the Romans to put on the mindset of Christ. The verse says, "Do not be conformed any longer to the patterns of this world," right? And so for your mentee, it's no longer looking and referencing those old mindsets. Now they creep in, but we've got to be consistently, nope, we're going to go to the new operating system, right? We're not reverting back to the old one. And what does God say about this situation that I'm encountering right now? What does His Word say about the difficulty that is going on right now in my life? And you as a mentor are going to have multiple opportunities to speak truth into a situation. And so, yes, you are going to be giving input in regard to what your opinion is, but ultimately what this individual needs for the rest of their life is, what does God think about it? What is God's perspective on the matter? And the rest of the verse says, do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed, right? Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that process is a difficult one. It can be. It only happens when an individual submits to the Word of God, right? And Absolute Ministries has a process for this in the midst of our, we call them one-on-ones, where we're meeting with the members and they're talking about the things that are going on in their life and what they're thinking about it, what they're frustrated about. And we're saying, okay, but how has that worked out for you? Is that area of your life broken? Let's see what God says about it. And we look to His Word, right? And He's very clear. And then it's not a law, though. It's not a, you have to do this or you're going to be, punished. There's an immediate consequence. That's not our, the temperature we want to hold. It's a, do you want this? Right? This is available for you, and it is life for you. So it's no effect on me. And that's sometimes an attractive, just track to take when you're talking to a mentee who's having a hard time. You can use that and say, it doesn't affect my life what you do with this. It's your life. You are the one that is going to benefit by way of this, right? And so remove yourself from the equation and if your mentee's name is Jim, this is about you. It's your life. You're the one here. It doesn't affect me, Cameron, whatsoever. I love you. And I want you to experience all that God has for you. And you want to be a husband one day. You want to be a dad one day. You want to reconcile relationships that exist in your life. How is that going to happen? How are those relationships going to be restored? You have to put on the new mindset of Christ, right? Just one example in the myriad of opportunities you're going to have to coach and mentor your Absolute member. We love you, and here comes the next video in the Absolute acronym. We're going to jump into it.